It's debatable on whether or not this sure hit can be dodged at all, because every time Kashimo fires it, it lands on his opponent. Hey, what's up everybody? It's LeeLos, and today we're talking about why Yuji versus Kashimo is obvious. Stay steady in pursuit of your dreams and goals. You're born to win, you're made for greatness, and I definitely believe in you guys. Keep up the great work each and every day. So Yuji versus Kashimo is a battle between the main character of Jujutsu Kaisen versus one of the most powerful characters from the Culling games. Today we're going to analyze every single power-up and ability these two characters have displayed to figure out overall who's more powerful than who between these two characters. Kashimo is an extremely powerful character. He absolutely low diffs Panda, overpowering and speed blitzing him at the same time, and his cursed energy trait or property is electricity. So unless you have insane durability, you constantly take damage from his attacks, even if you block them. When Kashimo punches people, he transfers a positive charge to them using his cursed energy property. The negative charge is within Kashimo, and he then sends electricity towards his opponent, connecting the positive and negative charge like a magnet. This creates a sure hit electricity technique without Kashimo needing to use a domain expansion. This attack is shown to be far more powerful than his normal punches. This is shown with his fight against Hikari, as Hikari, while in Jackpot, has cursed energy output so high that Kashimo's electricity trait doesn't even affect him, but his sure hit is still strong enough to deal devastating damage to Hikari. From what we've seen in Kashimo's battles, if he hits somebody 4 times, that's enough charge to fire his sure hit attack. It's debatable on whether or not this sure hit can be dodged at all, because every time Kashimo fires it, it lands on his opponent. There is a panel where the lightning sure hit looks like it's going to hit Hikari in the head, then the next panel it destroys his arm. So either Hikari actually avoided being hit in the head by this attack, or a lowball interpretation is that this is just a 2D interpretation of the attack and the lightning was aiming towards Hikari's arm the entire time. A medium ball interpretation would be that all people can really do is change what part of their body is hit by Kashimo's sure hit attack, but in the end it always lands on his opponent. Kashimo is bare minimum relative to Jackpot Hikari during the Culling games in terms of power and speed. Debatably, he might even be above Jackpot Hikari in some stats. Not only are there multiple panels in which Kashimo matches Hikari in strength, but Kashimo actually kills Jackpot Hikari at least 2 different times during this fight. Overall, Kashimo is just very powerful, even in his base form. If you think he trained during the 1 month of preparation for the final Shinjuku battle, his base form would then be even more powerful than this, but that's very debatable. He really might have not done any training at all during this 1 month time frame. But all that being said, Mythical Beast Amber is an even bigger power-up on top of all of this. In Mythical Beast Amber, he lands 3 hits on Sukuna, then fires his lightning sure hit. So maybe his sure hit attack charges up faster when he's using his curse technique Mythical Beast Amber, or maybe getting hit by Sukuna's lightning curse tool at the start of the fight increased the sure hit's charging speed. Also, if you're highballing Kashimo, you could argue Mythical Beast Amber Kashimo forces this 1 HP version of Maguna to transform by using his lightning sure hit. This implies that maybe even characters like 1 HP Sukuna can't dodge this sure hit. Maguna might have actually been hit by this attack, then healed the damage afterwards by transforming back into his Heian era form. Then we see Mythical Beast Amber Kashimo is actually fast enough to react to Heian era Sukuna's first attack, but Sukuna overpowers him even after Kashimo blocks it. Then he gets low diffed by Sukuna right after that. So how does Yuji compare to this character? Yuji, even during the very start of the Shinjuku battle, was already very powerful. At the start of the Shinjuku battle, Sukuna states that Yuji's cursed energy reinforcement has improved drastically. A medium to highball interpretation would be that Sukuna is comparing Yuji to Yuji's Rage Amp form that he displayed back in the Culling games. This would be genuinely insane and would scale Yuji to being very powerful, because this Rage Amp Yuji was so strong that he was able to do combo attacks with Maki, even back in the Culling games. Sukuna's dialogue implied that Maki was still stronger than Yuji back in the Culling games, but for Rage Amp Yuji to be able to combo attack with Maki, it's still very impressive, especially when you consider the medium to highball interpretation that now in Shinjuku, Yuji might be drastically more powerful than this. In strength and defense, Yuji's overall improvement is also shown with him now doing combo attacks with Yuta, while Yuta is buffed by his domain. Yuta does debatably save Yuji's life during these combo attacks at one point in the fight, and he is overall doing more visible damage to Sukuna, but the fact that Yuji's able to do combo attacks with Yuta at all, while Yuta's buffed by his domain, is very impressive. Yuji's most impressive display of power is after his awakening. After landing a Black Flash, Yuji's potential awakens and he unlocks Shrine. Yuji then performs 5 Black Flashes in a row and then lands his most impressive feat in the entire fight. Yuji tanks a Sukuna punch amped with Dismantle at the same time, and it doesn't even phase Yuji. Then Yuji sends Sukuna flying into a wall with a punch. Yuji then lands 3 more Black Flashes immediately after this. It should be noted that every time Yuji hits Sukuna, Sukuna's cursed energy output drops. So essentially, as Yuji is getting stronger, he's also making Sukuna weaker. So all this being said, who would be more likely to win between Yuji and Kashimo? The answer is Yuji. Yuji would simply be more likely to win against Kashimo. Yuji is genuinely just a very bad matchup for incarnated sorcerers because every attack he lands lowers their output, and eventually his attacks make the incarnated sorcerer separate from the host. Furthermore, the feats Awakened Yuji performs against Heian Era Sukuna scales above anything base Kashimo has displayed, so if Kashimo fights Yuji in a similar style to how he tried to fight Hikari, it's not going to end very well for him. Yuji's soul-splitting dismantles are so powerful against incarnated sorcerers that even Heian Era Sukuna chose to dodge them near the end of their battle. So overall, Yuji's best win condition would be outboxing base form Kashimo and blasting him with soul-splitting dismantles. Since Kashimo is an incarnated sorcerer, he might actually just kill Kashimo in their first boxing exchange using soul-splitting dismantle. We genuinely don't even know how many of those Kashimo would be able to withstand. If Heian Era Sukuna's dodging them, then the odds of Kashimo surviving them as an incarnated sorcerer is very low. Kashimo's only real win conditions are using his Lightning Sure Hit and Mythical Beast Amber, and even these win conditions have problems. The Lightning Sure Hit requires Kashimo to land around 4 attacks on Yuji, and based on Yuji's feats against Heian Era Sukuna, including dodging attacks from him, Kashimo might not actually be able to land these 4 attacks before Yuji just kills Kashimo with soul-splitting dismantles. If Kashimo goes into Mythical Beast Amber, then debatably he might actually scale above Yuji in overall stats, but the problem is Yuji has a domain expansion and Kashimo doesn't. So Kashimo would be forced into Hollow Wicker Basket and would have to try and fight Yuji holding the Hollow Wicker Basket hand sign, and would have to try and fight domain amped Yuji without using his hands, and he'd be on a time limit. The odds of Mythical Beast Amber Kashimo beating a domain amped Yuji without using his hands is not very likely, especially considering that Kashimo would have a time limit due to Mythical Beast Amber actually destroying him, and considering that every attack Yuji lands would lower Kashimo's output even more, and Yuji still has soul-splitting dismantles on top of that might one-shot Kashimo. Even if he goes Mythical Beast Amber, if Yuji opens his domain right after, that's a pretty strong counter to Kashimo's best ability. Or Kashimo might actually just get destroyed by the domain itself, and if the domain has the soul-splitting property, then it's even worse for Kashimo. Kashimo's only valid win condition is to go Mythical Beast Amber immediately, hope to land 3 attacks without getting hit by Yuji's soul-splitting dismantle even one time, then hit Yuji directly in the head with the Lightning Bolt Sure Hit immediately. But again, if Yuji just uses his domain expansion, then Kashimo's most valid win condition ends up just being countered. So yeah, overall, if he fights Yuji pretty much any other way, Kashimo almost guaranteed loses. So overall, Yuji simply has more valid win conditions than Kashimo would, meaning Yuji would be more likely to win. That's everything I wanted to say. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate the views in the comments. Like and subscribe, and I'll see ya on the next one.